On January 3, 2025, the Islamic State released a statement that shed light on the logic behind two recent vehicular terror attacks that left the world grappling with shock and confusion. In New Orleans, on New Year's Day, a man drove his truck into a crowd, killing 14 people and wounding dozens. Less than 2 weeks earlier, a similar attack occurred in Magdeburg, Germany, when Taleb Abdulmohsen ploughed his vehicle through a crowded Christmas market, killing 5 people and injuring over 200 others. While media outlets and officials offered familiar narratives about mental illness, personal grievances and instability, the truth, as revealed by IS statement, points to a calculated strategy designed to sow chaos and fear. These attacks, though seemingly erratic, fit into a broader pattern of ideologically motivated violence. In the early hours of January 1, 2025, a New Orleans celebration turned tragic when a Muslim man drove his truck into a crowd. The attack, timed to disrupt a joyful start to the year, left 14 dead and dozens more injured. Authorities were quick to suggest that the perpetrator might have been suffering from mental health issues or personal struggles, yet no concrete evidence was presented to support these claims. The lack of clarity surrounding the attack's motive only added to the confusion, leaving the public grappling with questions. Was this an isolated act of violence, or did it stem from a deeper, more sinister cause? Just days before Christmas, on December 20th, 2023, another vehicular attack shocked the world. In Magdeburg, Germany, Taleb Abdulmohsen drove a vehicle into a bustling Christmas market, leaving 5 dead and over 200 injured. Abdulmohsen, a Saudi national with a peculiar background, he had reportedly posed as a Christian convert critical of Islam, was an unexpected perpetrator. Once again, authorities struggled to explain the motive. While his complex personal history suggested instability, this narrative failed to address the calculated nature of the attack. As with New Orleans, the Magdeburg massacre seemed random on the surface, but the timing, location and method hinted at a larger, coordinated plan. In both incidents, the media and officials resorted to familiar explanations. The attackers were mentally unstable, socially isolated or motivated by personal grievances. This pattern of explanation is not new. Terror attacks by lone individuals often lead to discussions of mental health rather than ideology, particularly when the connection to a broader network or group is less overt. While mental illness can indeed play a role in radicalization, this explanation often oversimplifies the issue and ignores the ideological motivations that drive such acts. By dismissing the possibility of a larger strategy, authorities inadvertently play into the hands of groups like IS, which thrive on creating confusion and exploiting societal vulnerabilities. The Islamic State statement on January 3, 2025 offers a critical perspective on the logic behind these attacks. According to IS, these acts of violence are not random, but part of a deliberate strategy to destabilize societies, erode trust, and spread fear. The organization has long advocated for decentralized, low-cost attacks that are easy to execute yet capable of causing significant psychological and societal damage. Vehicular attacks in particular have become a favored method. They require minimal resources, are difficult to predict, and can target large crowds with devastating effect. By striking during moments of celebration or cultural significance, such as Christmas or New Year's, these attacks aim to maximize impact, disrupting not only the lives of those directly affected, but also the broader sense of normalcy within society. A key aspect of IS strategy involves selecting perpetrators with personal or psychological vulnerabilities. Individuals like the New Orleans attacker or Abdulmohsen are ideal candidates for such operations. Their complex backgrounds and apparent instability make it easier for authorities to dismiss the attacks as isolated incidents, further obscuring the ideological underpinnings. This tactic also aligns with IS emphasis on lone wolf operations, where individuals act independently while still adhering to the group's broader objectives. By decentralizing their operations, IS can carry out attacks without direct involvement, making it harder for law enforcement to trace the source or prevent future incidents. The apparent randomness of these attacks amplifies their psychological impact. When violence occurs without clear motive or warning, it creates a pervasive sense of fear and uncertainty. Public spaces, once considered safe, become potential targets. Celebrations and communal gatherings are overshadowed by the possibility of violence. Moreover, the lack of a clear motive feeds into societal divisions as people speculate about the attacker's intentions. This confusion serves IS' broader goal of polarizing societies and undermining trust between communities. Understanding the ideological roots of these attacks is crucial for crafting effective counter-terrorism strategies. Dismissing them as the actions of isolated individuals with personal problems ignores the broader context and allows the cycle of violence to continue. IS' January 3rd statement underscores the importance of recognizing these incidents as part of a calculated campaign. By acknowledging the ideological dimensions of such attacks, authorities can develop more targeted interventions, focusing on prevention and de-radicalization rather than just reacting to the aftermath. The vehicular attacks in New Orleans and Magdeburg are not isolated acts of madness, but deliberate acts of terror designed to destabilize and divide. As the Islamic State statement makes clear, these incidents are part of a broader strategy to exploit vulnerabilities and spread fear. To effectively combat this threat, societies must look beyond the surface-level explanations of mental illness and personal grievances. Only by understanding the logic behind these attacks can we hope to dismantle the narratives and networks that fuel them. The fight against terror is not just about addressing the symptoms, but about confronting the ideology at its core.